Hi, everyone. My name is Nicole. I'm here at Austrek, and I am with Brian and Bill. Brian is in marketing and international at UQ, and Bill is a current MD student studying at UQ. Bill is going to walk us through kind of the social aspects of studying in the MD in Brisbane. Take it away, Bill.
I believe Brian wanted to have something first.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Brian.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining this session. So as Nicole said, we'll be taking you through more of the social side of medicine. So I'm sure that you've heard a lot about entry requirements and the curriculum, but this is a bit more of the fun side. So I won't keep you any longer, and I'll hand over to Bill, who will talk about Med Review, which is a great event within the UQMS calendar. Over to you, Bill.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Nicole. Hey, everyone. So yeah, like Nicole said, I'm Bill. I am a current MD3, so third year medical student here at UQ. Yeah, so I was a convener for this year's Med Review. I'm going to walk you through what Med Review is, why you should do it if and when you come down to UQ. And yeah, I'll have a brief little spiel about everything else that's social of medicine as well. But yeah, I've got a little slideshow for you guys in terms of just photos and stuff so you can see what Med Review is. And I'll kind of walk you through everything there. So Med Review is one of the best things in medicine. It's one of the most unique things. Definitely one of the biggest events, is the biggest event of the UQ calendar. It's where a whole bunch of students, so this year we had around 150 students get involved with it. And then I think in 2019 there was around 300 students. So yeah, what it is pretty much, it's a full-scale production, musical, play, comedy show thing. It's this massive production that a whole lot of students get involved with. It's fully written, directed, performed by UQ medical students. So we don't have professionals get involved. We don't really have faculty involved or anything like that. It's all by us, by the medical society here at UQ. What makes us really unique to other shows is that we don't really require talent. We don't really care how good you are on stage. We don't care how well you sing or act. We just want you guys to have fun. We want you guys to have the best time of your lives doing this. And yeah, honestly, just have a good time. So what I'm going to do with this presentation is pretty much walk you through every aspect of Med Review, and hopefully that's something that you can take away and be like, yeah, that's something I can do, and adds it to the list of reasons why to come to UQ, pretty much. So let's start with our writers meeting. So from the very beginning of the year, so week 1 for you guys, we begin our writers meetings, which is pretty much a 2-hour comedy show every week where a whole bunch of us come together, pitch our ideas for the show, and we give each other feedback and suggestions. And it's just honestly this really fun time where a close-knit group of people have a good laugh. This is where every scene, every song, every skit in the show is pitched, and this is where it all kind of starts to come together. And yeah, this is the place where if you think that you're kind of a bit of a comedian, if you want to have a bit of hand in writing things, this is definitely the place to go. Even if you don't have ideas, you're more than welcome to come because you always have a good idea. We always welcome any and all forms of feedback. And I promise you, yeah, if you come, get involved with writers meetings, they're a lot of fun, and a good way to just kind of start the behind the scenes of Med Review. And then obviously we have our actors and our singers. Pretty much these are the people that are on stage. And these are the people who you're going to see, and basically they is pretty much the backbone of what Med Review is. You can range from having a tiny role that's on stage, might not even have a speaking role, but if that's the role you kind of want to put yourself out there, great. You can also go to having a main role, because what the show is basically a whole bunch of skits with a main plot interweave throughout, and you can be one of our main characters, as you see on the left. And they have a bit more of an intense rehearsal schedule, but nonetheless, just as much fun. They all come together really well, and it's all all about making a fool of yourself on stage, but looking good while doing it. And yeah, it's a whole lot of fun. And then we've got, if my slides want to change, that'd be great. Yeah, we've got choir. So if you don't really want to put yourself out there as much as being an actor, but you still want to be on stage, and you kind of want to blend into the masses a bit, choir is the place for you, especially if you're a person who loves to sing in the shower or just loves to break out into song whenever you want. Yeah, choir is the place for you. Pretty much what choir is, they do a medley of songs every year. They can be used as extras in random scenes. They can sing in the background for scenes. But as hopefully you can tell, it's just a whole lot of dumb fun. I promise you, you don't need to be able to sing very well. There are plenty of people who just want to have a good time, and that's exactly what they get from choir. And it's just this close little family that you get really close with, and you just have a really good time with them, and it's a lot of fun. And I can't stress enough that choir is just a whole lot of fun. And yeah, so then we've also got dance, which is kind of the same thing as choir, but if you think you just cannot sing or the singing is not your thing, dance is definitely the way to go. Like I said, promise you, you don't need to be good at dancing. The dances are very simple, and even then, it's not about how good you look, it's just about having fun. And same with choir, you become this close little family, and you get to know people really, really well. And you just make a fool of yourself on stage, but you're doing it with all your close friends, and that's all you can really ask for, and you have a good time doing it as well. And then if really on stage isn't your thing, but you actually have talent with an instrument, then band is definitely the way to go. Band, we pretty much welcome any form of instrument that is out there. I think this year we had a tuba. I think in 2019 we had a harp player. And if you have a niche random instrument that you want to play, approach us and we can fit you in. And yeah, so we don't really use backing tracks in the show. Our live band does everything. So honestly, such a good time. And once again, they become this close little family. You get to meet a whole lot of different people. And I think they probably have the most fun of any of the groups. So yeah, band's always a good time. And then if kind of that on stage and performance aspect, not really your thing, but you still want to get involved, there's always backstage and production crew. Not to discount them by any means, they're probably the most important part of the show. Our production crew can range from lighting directors, sound directors, stage managers, anything like that. And then our backstage crew can help with building props, sets, moving things in between sets, in between scenes. And yeah, honestly, such a good time. And once again, you meet a whole lot of different people. And then, so basically why, if all that stuff hasn't really convinced you to come down and do medicine and be involved with MedReview, a few of the reasons why you should really do it is medicine it's intense. I'm not going to lie. As an MD, as a third year medical student, it can be a lot of work. And it's really, really important that you have a creative outlet from that, or just some sort of stress outlet. MedReview is the perfect thing for that, because it can be a 1 hour time commitment a week where you guaranteed to have fun. Or if you need more than that, you can time commit as much as you want to it. And it's the thing where you're guaranteed to have a good time. You don't have to think about medicine. You're around people that have a shared interest with you. And therefore you can just kind of let loose a little bit. And so I can't stress enough how important that is to balance that with medicine, doing medicine, similarly with the rest of the social aspects of medicine. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why MedReview is great. Another one is you genuinely meet, I know it's really cliche to be yeah, you make lifelong friends, but it's genuinely true. I think around 70% of my friendship groups, all my friends are from MedRev, they are doing MedRev. And it's where we met, it's where we bond. I think this year, around 60% of our conversation just come with MedRev things. and I wouldn't have it any other way, because it's a place where you're guaranteed to meet people who have a shared interest with you, and that's outside of just, oh, my lecture was really shit today. Sorry, not swearing. But yeah, and it's also one of the few places where you can meet people outside of your own cohort. So it's quite difficult to make friends with as a first year with fourth years, as a fourth year with first years. And MedRev is one of the few places where it's really easy to do that, because you're doing all these things together and no one really cares about what cohort you're in. And so you just have this mass integration. It's really lovely. Like I always flex that I know a lot of doctors at hospitals. I'm on placement now because I did MedRev, and they can sign all my things that I need signed in the hospital. And I wouldn't be able to brag about that if I didn't have MedRev. And lastly, it's just fun. I can't stress enough how fun it is. It's, yeah, like medicine can be just so draining, and then it's so nice to have something that's just guaranteed dumb fun that you just, have a good time with. So that's all I have about med review. I might give a quick spiel about the other side of medicine. I haven't really got anything prepared for it, the social side of medicine. But there's a whole, so I'm not sure how much you guys know about the UQ Medical Society, but we have a medical society run by students, and they organize a whole lot of things for you guys. So a big part of that is the social aspects. So we have events, we have a whole lot of events throughout the year that are purely for social things. So that can range from like open mic nights to just a good party, all of which I really encourage going to and really consider as a part of going to medicine, because it's, yeah, like I said, you need outlets from medicine and doing study. And the UQ Medical Society really, really tries to put on that aspect, tries to aid in socializing and letting you guys interact outside of lectures, outside of tutes. I think throughout the year, throughout each semester, there's probably around 4 or 5 parties that you can go to, as amongst a whole lot of other random things, not including all our affiliates and other non-medical society events that we highly encourage you going to. So yeah, there's a lot for outside of medicine. Obviously, you're a student first, so that should be your priority, but don't discount being able to balance that social aspects just to try and keep yourself sane. And that goes for any, wherever you go, not necessarily if it's UQ. Obviously, would love to come to UQ, for you guys to come to UQ, but even if you don't, it's also important to balance that aspect. Anyway, you go. That's all I have. I'm a bit early.
That's all right. Thanks so much, Bill.
No
Brian, was there anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say, can we open it up for any questions in the chat? But I guess I got a quick question. So I've actually been to a few med reviews, and I'm always amazed how talented medical students are. Bill, can you explain that? Why are medical students so talented in so many varied aspects? Is it because you guys are overachievers?
Maybe. Honestly, part of it probably is we're overachievers and love to just be good at everything. But honestly, who knows? I am always jealous of the talent every year. I'm like, how are these people so talented? I'm organizing it this year, but that's besides the point. People always surprise me, and people always just are insane. And it makes me jealous, so jealous every year. And I don't have an answer for you why people are good, honestly. They just are.
And I guess the other thing that the medical dean gets involved quite heavily as well. Can you talk a little bit about his little skit that he does with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So our medical dean is one of the coolest guys ever. He loves to get involved with med review, loves to make a fool of himself. I think everyone knows he's not the best actor, but he still gets involved. So every year the conveners do a skit, do a cute little video, and he is a major part of it. So this year we did a skit that was a parody of Gogglebox called Goggle Docs. And he was that person watching TV and making all these cute, quirky, sassy remarks. And he did an intro for us this year. Yeah, he's a massive advocate for Med Review, and he loves to get involved with it, which is quite unique.
And I guess it's also worth pointing out that Hugh Jackman normally does the intro for Med Review, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so every year, unfortunately not this year, Hugh Jackman does, we contact Hugh Jackman, we have contacts behind the scenes, and he does a cute little minute-long intro for us, and he just kind of either jokes about it, has a competition with law review, or just does a cute little introduction for it. Unfortunately, this year we couldn't get him involved because he was busy. But yeah, that's always something to look forward to, is seeing Hugh Jackman in this dumb production put on by medical students, and he's not paid for it by any means. So it's always a fun time.
Amazing. And do you do one show per semester, or do you work on one show through the whole year?
So it's one show for the entire year, because the process starts from semester one, from those writers' meetings, and then that's around 8 weeks. And then you've got the audition process, and then you've got rehearsal process. So we generally put on 3 shows in the middle of August. This year, because of COVID, we had to push it back to September, but that's okay. Normally it's an August show, and then,
Amazing.
we work on it.
Well, I'm going to have to get out to Brisbane sometime to see it.
Please do.
Yes, please, everyone come to Brisbane.
Yeah. Amazing.
See everyone.
So that's our time. Thank you to Bill and Brian for being here and talking to us tonight. If anybody has questions, the UQ chat room is open and the Austrek chat room is open, so you can jump in there to ask them. Okay.
Great.
Thanks
Thank you very much.
So much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
See ya.